Matt got a Sega Genesis.
I heard Matt got a Sega Genesis.
Well, I guess one more is okay.
The Sega Genesis. Game cartridges sold separately.
From all of us at Channel 7, Happy Hanukkah.
This is Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Edye Tarbox, Marianne Wright, Bill Evans with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast, and the Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marianne Wright.
And I'm Edye Tarbox. Welcome to Eyewitness News at noon. Prosecutors say Maxon Samuel practiced bad medicine. He was a doctor at one time, but then his license was pulled. But even then, they say he continued performing abortions. Now he's getting a dose of the justice system at his sentencing in Mineola, and that's where Lucy Yang is live. Lucy?
That's right, Edye. Today was sentencing day for the 44-year-old doctor who has at least a 7-year history of practicing bad medicine. This latest time he got caught treating patients despite having lost his medical license. Maxon Samuel was brought into the Mineola courtroom late this morning to face Judge Donald Belfi's sentencing. 2 to 4 years for practicing medicine without a license and insurance fraud. He pled guilty to those 2 felony counts in October in a plea bargain with the state.
That you, Maxon Samuel, are hereby sentenced as a second felony offender.
Unfortunately, you know, it's very difficult to actually police when people open up an office like that. There's so many places that they can do it.
Maxon Samuel used to run a lucrative medical practice, performing abortions at clinics in the city and Long Island. But officials say he did more harm than good. This is not his first time before the bench. 7 years ago, the Haitian-born doctor lost his license, paid $250,000 in fines, and served a year at Rikers for a string of problems at his medical clinics, namely performing abortions on women who were not pregnant. Records show that even though he was not supposed to practice anymore, after the doctor got out of jail, he went back to work. Eventually, enough complaints came forward. He got caught a second time. In May of '92, he pled guilty and served 5 months in jail, only to get back out and set up shop again, this time in Hempstead, this time allegedly using different names.
To the extent that he continued to practice medicine, I'm sure it's for the same reason that each of us go to work every day. That's because it's the only way he knows how to make a living. He's got a family and young children that he supports.
Prosecutors finally got wind of Samuel's clinic in Hempstead when patients came forward to complain that the doctor was using one alias but wrote prescriptions on a pad bearing another doctor's name. Authorities are hoping this third time behind bars will keep him from ever dispensing medicine again. For now, we're live in Mineola, Long Island. Lucy Yang, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Lucy. One man behind bars, now the search for a killer. A worker at a drug rehabilitation center in the Bronx was shot execution style last night as she walked home, gunned down for no apparent reason. Now police are looking for the killer and the motive. David Ushry joins us live in the Bronx with more. David?
Marianne, Lillian De Jesus was a fiscal officer here at ProMesa, which offers a wide range of social services, including drug rehabilitation. But neither administrators here nor the police seem to know why anyone would want to kill her. Police say Lillian De Jesus had just walked out of the ProMesa Drug Rehabilitation Center with 2 co-workers around 5:30 last evening. 2 men, apparently hiding behind a car, came up behind the group.
She went out the gate to the sidewalk heading to the parking lot. According to the police, 2 individuals came from behind a car and from behind, shot her point blank.
The gunshot to the back of De Jesus' head was decisive and fatal, police saying she died on the street. The killers ran away. The co-workers were unhurt. The 50-year-old De Jesus was in charge of financial affairs for the center. The executive director says he knows of no reason why De Jesus would be targeted for a killing.
She was a person who would care very much for, and in that short tenure, got along very interpersonal relationships. Her staff personally liked her very much.
Now, other co-workers here have been rather tight-lipped today. The 2 that were with her at the time of the shooting we are told, are not here today. We are told that Lillian De Jesus is a resident of Holbrook, Long Island. Police say they have no suspects, no motive, no weapon, no arrests. We are live in the Bronx. I'm David Usher at Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Nearly half of all workers killed on the job in this area last year were victims of homicide. Those startling statistics come from the federal government. And of the 306 workers killed on the job in the New York, Northern New Jersey, Long Island region in 1992, almost half were murdered. And most of those killings occurred in New York City. The study indicates the number of work-related homicides in our region is much higher than other areas of the country. The family of a doctor shot dead by Mount Vernon police is suing. Dr. Lenis Koukouris was accidentally killed during a scuffle by a plainclothes police officer who he apparently mistook for a thief. The officer, Anthony Rozzi, was acquitted of all charges, but Koukouris' family is suing, claiming Rozzi used unreasonable and illegal deadly force.
Mayor-elect Rudy Giuliani is in the middle of a war of words with the Emergency Medical Service. Mr. Giuliani denies EMS allegations that he used profanity in an argument with an EMS worker in front of his East Side home yesterday. The argument was over the treatment of a neighbor's 13-year-old son who was hit by a taxi and suffered a broken leg. The boy's mother wanted him taken to Columbia Presbyterian, where his father is a surgeon. EMS wanted to follow the rules and take him to the nearest hospital. The mayor-elect intervened.
Language that's being attributed to me, no. The language that I used was strong language, but I didn't call him any names, and I characterized the judgment that was involved, which was an excessively bureaucratic judgment without any sense of human feeling for the mother and for the 9-year-old daughter who was crying there, and he was making it worse by arguing with it. I think I said that the judgment, that this rule, or the way he was interpreting the rule, was stupid.
The boy was eventually taken to Columbia Presbyterian. The mayor-elect says the incident demonstrates that the city needs to reevaluate how it handles people.
The handling of last spring's local school board elections could be called a lesson in fraud. That's the conclusion of the top investigator for the public schools. Ed Stanzik released undercover video taken during the May 4th elections. Video, he says, that demonstrates chaos, corruption, and cheating, with some people voting numerous times while other registered voters were turned away.
Examine how political forces, more interested in patronage than education, easily manipulate a system that is antiquated and wholly inadequate to counter the serious risks of fraud.
Allegations of fraud surfaced immediately after the elections in the city's 32 school districts. It wasn't fraud, but debris on the tracks that brought Metro North trains to a standstill on the Harlem and New Haven lines this morning. The whole mess started around 7 o'clock in the Bronx when a metal arm was sheared off of one train and was hit by several other trains. Well, that brought everything to a halt, leaving about 75,000 commuters going nowhere fast. It took about 3.5 hours to get Metro North service completely back on track.
Maybe the end of the road for a Long Island man who escaped an Alabama chain gang 30 years ago. Alabama wants James Harris back to finish his sentence, so Harris today appeared at an extradition hearing before a Suffolk County judge. Despite living in Long Island for the last 25 years, Harris could be sent back to an Alabama prison.
No court appearances for Michael Jackson yet, but there are disturbing new allegations. There are new reports surfacing that a second young boy is stepping forward, accusing Michael Jackson of molesting him. All this comes as members of Michael Jackson's family are becoming more vocal, coming to the defense of the superstar. Tappy Phillips has that part of the story.
For the first time since Michael returned to the U.S., the Jackson family gathered to publicly support him. On Black entertainment television, Michael's parents and siblings lashed out at the motives of those who are accusing him of child abuse.
They're not telling the truth.
That's what I was going to say. I feel betrayed in as much as, because of their allegations and what they're saying, if it could prove otherwise, it causes serious problem. We know it's a lie.
A former child dancer and friend of Jackson joined the growing list of accusers. He said Jackson used to massage his back when they were young, and he blames the entire family for the current problems.
These people are liars. The attorneys are liars. The family lies, and it's a disgrace, and it's got to stop. You know, the father looks like a devil. You know, and Michael, as far as I'm concerned, is the little devil, and this has got to come to a stop.
Jackson's problem started when the family of a 13-year-old boy sued Jackson for child abuse. Then a former maid of Jackson says she saw him naked in a hot tub with 2 boys. And the Los Angeles Police Department is currently investigating abuse allegations. When the charges surfaced, Jackson canceled his Dangerous tour in November and went into seclusion at a European rehab center, saying he was addicted to prescription drugs. On Friday, however, Jackson returned to the United States and his Neverland ranch in California. His lawyer said he came back to establish his innocence. These allegations will be either proven or dismissed early next year when the police say they will have completed their investigation and the civil suit comes to trial. Tappy Phillips, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
In the meantime, Jackson's former maid is set to give her deposition today.
When we continue with Eyewitness News, a breakthrough in Europe.
A handshake could signal the end of a violent relationship between Northern Ireland and Britain. Both sides agree on a framework for peace.
And a little later, the end of a long, successful career. Myrna Loy, leading lady, dies, and we'll take a look back.
This is a studio full of average guys, but I want you to know a few things about the men sitting around me. A third of them have struck a woman, more than 10% have shot at someone, 2% have even killed. Are men naturally more violent than women? We're giving men an aggression test to see just who could snap and who they might hurt. How you can tell if your man has a hidden violent streak. On the next one.
Today at 4, followed by Eyewitness News right here on Channel 7.
From Warner Brothers Family Entertainment, 2 new holiday gift ideas. Give your family something special with one of the most heartwarming films of the year.
I love you, Willie.
The story of a remarkable friendship.
Go, Willie!
Free Willy. And bring home the fun with a lovable menace named Dennis. The outrageous John Hughes comedy directed by Nick Castle. Dennis the Menace. Free Willy and Dennis the Menace. 2 great gifts at a price you can afford. For sale wherever videos are sold.
You're gonna love this herbal tea from Celestial Seasonings. It tastes like a juicy mouthful of wild berries. Wild berry zinger. It'll tingle your tongue and tungle your ting. But it has no caffeine, so it's perfect for nighttime. It'll make your taste buds two-step, but your brain won't jitterbug. Cause it has no caffeine. Besides, this stuff will do your hair and take out the garbage. Just kidding. Celestial Seasonings Wild Berry Zinger. It has no caffeine, so it's a perfect way to end your day. Have a celestial night.
Right now at Dunkin' Donuts for just $4.99, you can take home 2 pounds of our world-famous coffee. That's enough coffee to fill all these cups. It's our own special blend of carefully selected and freshly roasted beans, ground to order. And at just $4.99 for 2 pounds, it's the best coffee around at the best price around. And what's even better, it comes in these convenient packages. Cups not included.
For 25 years, they have bombed and shot, and 3,000 people have died. Today, a remarkable framework for peace in Northern Ireland is taking shape. Britain and Ireland worked out the plan during months of negotiations. We have a report now from Glenn Mathias in London.
The final agreement on the wording of the joint declaration was only reached last night. The Irish Prime Minister Albert Reynolds arrived at Heathrow this morning in the knowledge that his summit with John Major was a foregone conclusion. The agreement was ready to be published.
Signal a new direction. We want the starting point to be peace.
As the Taoiseach arrived in Downing Street, both governments were insisting the 7-page declaration is a balanced document reflecting the unionist and nationalist positions, and they hope it will now turn the pressure on the terrorists to end the violence. It's designed to be the basis on which all-party talks in Northern Ireland can restart and, if the violence ends, include the IRA's political wing Sinn Féin. But it's been made clear again today the end of the violence has to be permanent. There'd have to be 3 months of peace before Sinn Féin can be included in the political process. But the Democratic Unionists, led by the Reverend Ian Paisley, handed in a letter of protest to Number 10, accusing John Major of betrayal.
You have sold Ulster to buy off the fiendish Republican scum.
After a summit meeting lasting just 40 minutes, the 2 prime ministers emerged to explain their central purpose.
It is a declaration for democracy and dialogue, and it is based on consent. It makes no compromise on strongly held principles, but it does embody our common view that there is an opportunity to end violence for good in Northern Ireland.
Glenn Mathias, ITN, Westminster.
Sources say the Irish Republican Army is not expected to react for several days.
Political uncertainty in Russia, where Vice President Al Gore is meeting with Boris Yeltsin. The two refuse to answer questions about the hardliners' victories in parliamentary elections. But Yeltsin reportedly is assuring Gore that economic reforms will continue. Next month, Yeltsin will hold a summit with President Clinton in Moscow.
When we continue with Eyewitness News, we'll find out how long the drizzle is going to last.
Veronica Johnson has the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Plus, talk about the power of the president. You'll see how Mr. Clinton's shopping spree at Rockefeller Center is having a lasting impact. That's next.
Did you catch the last Jeopardy? Well, here's another chance to play.
This color is a slang term for cowardly.
Go ahead, don't be chicken. You know this one. The category is color. We'll return with the solution in just a moment. Good luck.
When it comes to refinancing your mortgage, it's important to do business with a lender you can depend on. With 115 local offices servicing almost $4 billion in loans, you probably know the Money Store is one of America's leading home equity lenders. But there's more. The Money Store is also the largest guaranteed lender to small businesses, and their student loan company is a leading lender to college students. So call the lender you can depend on. The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Genuine jockey. Genuine. Genuine. Genuine jockey. Genuine. Genuine. Genuine.
Real quality. Real fit. No wonder people feel so comfortable with Jockey.
Genuine people. Genuine jockey.
Critics call it the new feel-good hit of the season. It's hot and pulsing. It's warm and misty. A must experience for the entire family. Introducing the new shower massage. If you only take one shower this year, this should be it.
Chick Jeans, now on sale at Caldor.
Time's up. So what you got?
This color is a slang term for cowardly. David.
What is yellow?
Correct.
Take a tour of the United States on the next Jeopardy Challenge.
Watch tonight at 7.
Pulling out your hair yet? Biting your nails, frantically trying to come up with gift ideas? Well, apparently a lot of people decided to follow the president's lead in the gift department. When Mr. Clinton visited Manhattan Monday, he bought some presents at the Metropolitan Museum of Art's gift shop. He bought a necklace, scarf, puzzle, and a couple other items. Now the store reports everyone else seems to be following the president's lead, and those items are selling like hotcakes. Freedom of speech or nuisance neighbors. You take a look at this, judge for yourself. The Osborne family in Little Rock flipped the switch last night to turn on a controversial Christmas display. 1.6 million, mostly red lights. And the neighbors argue that the lights draw such crowds that it creates traffic jams and leaves their lots littered. In fact, the neighbors sued after last year's light show. The Osbornes say this display is an exercise of their constitutional rights. But a judge ruled that they must limit the amount of time the display is turned on.
What's the big deal? It's just a few weeks. Christmas is over.
It was massive. It looked like
it was
went
pretty
a whole
though.
block.
There's one house that's like that in Armonk, New York, and it's two brothers who live next door to each other, and they get together, and they try to see who can outdo each other. But it really does create quite a traffic jam. But it's the season.
Well, nice to watch, yeah. Well, I don't think our weather's going to be
Scrooges,
right? Who don't like that sort of thing. Yeah. And speaking of people who don't like certain types of things, well, our weather today very pesky with the intermittent showers on and off. And our video now comes to you out of Midtown, kind of a gray day where you don't know whether to put the umbrella up or leave it down. But yes, the rain will continue throughout the day. and our temperatures will be mild at least. That's the good news. Right now we're at 43 degrees, lots of humidity in the air, 82%, and our barometric pressure is falling off. I'll tell you why in just a minute. Our winds are out of the northeast, off of the ocean, so that's plenty of moisture here to provide the clouds and the drizzle and the light rain. Here's a quick look at our high temperature record for today, 61 set back in 1918. And with this low pressure system that we have that's riding up the coast, folks, our winds will increase greatly today while there will not be a lot of rain. And for Thursday morning, especially during times of high tide, the areas hardest hit will be the beach areas along the north and eastern facing beaches. Long Island, New York Harbor, coastal New Jersey, there will be a coastal flood watch in effect for tomorrow morning. We're talking sustained winds here, 20 to 40, gusting up to 50 miles per hour. That storm system, it covers a wide area. I can show you on satellite. It's moving up from the south into the storm system. While one is moving away from our coast, this one is coming up, and as it does so, high pressure is moving down. So a very tight pressure gradient is created between the low and the high, so we're getting a good fetch off of the ocean, and that will increase tonight as these systems move closer and closer together. We'll have the pesky rain on and off, but the heaviest rain will stay just to our south and over to our east. And currently, most of this rain is down toward the south across Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. It's moving to the north very slowly at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Very slow clip here, but I expect it to continue into tomorrow morning, and cloudy skies will be there tomorrow and for most of the day on Thursday. Back to the maps we go. That low pressure system providing plenty of moisture again, counterclockwise, so clouds, drizzle, rain, but still we're going to get up to 46 degrees. Pockets of sun tomorrow. That's what we're going for toward the late afternoon hours. Cool weather comes in, but it's going to take a while to get here. So your AccuWeather forecast for today calls for 46 intermittent light rain. Tonight, still rather mild, 38 degrees, light rain with increasing winds. And your AccuWeather forecast over the next couple of days says cloudy and drizzle tomorrow, 42 degrees. And look at these temperatures, folks. 46 on Friday, plenty of sunshine. That will be a very, very nice day. Simply fabulous. But rain Saturday, rain Sunday for like the fourth.
It doesn't matter what you produce on Friday. We're looking at Saturday and Sunday.
Well, just take a day off.
There you go. Thank you.
Top honors for a new movie.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List just hit movie screens today, and already it's picking up a lot of recognition.
Also, the passing of a screen legend. We'll look back on the career of Myrna Loy as we continue with Eyewitness News.
On the next Live, it's a special holiday greeting from Regis and Kathy Lee.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Plus, we'll catch up with Gilligan, Bob Denver, and see what he's been up to. And the one and only Love Chef with some terrific food and kitchen gifts for your family and friends. So join Regis and Kathy Lee.
Well, here we are just sitting around having our cookies. Are you joining us or not?
For Live.
Tomorrow at 9.
Right here on Channel 7.
Your back works hard all day. At night, you need the Sealy Posturepedic Sense and Respond support system. Its patented coils give easily at first for comfort. Then, as weight increases, it responds with increasing support, correct support. And only Sealy's Steel Span Foundation has steel beams, not wood. Posturepedic support, only from Sealy.
For nationwide delivery of Sealy, dial 1-800-POS-TURE.
Finally, a video game girls love. It's Barbie Supermodel, with everything my little girl loves about Barbie. Fashion, glamour, fun. It's a whole new way to play with Barbie. Bring it home for your favorite little girl this Christmas. Finally, video games they love and I feel good about them playing. Like Tom and Jerry, the ultimate game of cat and mouse, filled with frantic antics. I brought Tom and Jerry home for Christmas. So should you. $5 rebate with purchase of the video cassette.
You caught me. Right in the middle of wrapping. I always give my out-of-town friends and relatives a gift of Konica film and film and cameras, along with their presents. They take the pictures and send me the photos. And that's how we share the holidays. You see, Konica quality means that you get vivid color and razor-sharp detail. Guaranteed. And a $1 rebate, too. Konica film and cameras. A great way to share the holidays. For the dealer nearest you, call 1-800-MY-KONICA.
Another honor for director Steven Spielberg, but the big one still eludes him. His movie, Schindler's List, won Best Picture of 1993 by the National Board of Review. It got a similar award Saturday from the Los Angeles Film Critics Association.
I can't wait to see it. Here it's great. An actress who garnered many honors, Myrna Loy, is dead at the age of 88. She died last night in a Manhattan hospital. ABC's Boyd Mattson reports on the highlights of her long, illustrious career.
So it's you he was after.
Hello, sugar.
He's dragged me into every gym mill on the block.
She made more than 120 movies during her long career, but most movie fans probably remember Myrna Loy by another name, Nora Charles.
Room service, please. Well, it sounds like a good case. Girl mysteriously murdered. Nobody knows who did it.
In all, Loy portrayed the cool, sophisticated socialite in 6 Thin Man movies during the 30s and 40s. Throughout her movie career, Loy was most closely associated with the late actor William Powell, who played her on-screen husband in 13 films. Myrna Loy was born Myrna Williams in Helena, Montana in 1905. She made her way to Hollywood, where she was discovered by silent screen legend Rudolph Valentino. Loy first appeared on the silver screen in the mid-20s and went on to appear in 124 movies, including The Best Years of Our Life and Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House.
Now, the only sample I could get is a little too yellow. But don't let whoever does it go to the other extreme and get it too blue.
No.
It should just be a sort of grayish-yellow green.
Her career also included several appearances on Broadway and on television. She was eventually honored by the Kennedy Center for her 60 years in show business. Although she was never nominated for an Academy Award, Myrna Loy did receive an honorary Oscar in 1991. Myrna Loy was 88. Boyd Mattson, ABC News, New York.
Looking ahead now to Eyewitness News at 5, calling for a curfew. There is a push to keep kids in Brooklyn off the streets starting tonight. We'll have details. Also, a mother's choice sparks a bitter court battle in Illinois. Can the state force her to have a cesarean section in order to save her unborn baby? We'll have the latest. And 5 days and counting until Donald and Marla's big day. We'll take a look at what's in the works to pull this wedding off today on Eyewitness News at 5.
Finally, who doesn't need a little extra cash this holiday? Well, a Florida man says he knows where to find $20 million. Interested? He says it's here in his Daytona Beach dump. Dale Miller claims the $20 million winning lotto ticket was in his shirt pocket, but his girlfriend washed the shirt and threw the lint in the trash. Now Miller hopes to find it at the dump.
We had to wait for the right truck to come in, and then we helped them by backing the truck over on the side and helping the man go through to try to find the ticket, which they had no luck.
You know, Miller really doesn't hold out much hope for finding the ticket, but that's not keeping him from trying. Hey, for that much money, you might too. Even go through the trash.
I think it's worth it. That's the news for now. I'm Marianne Wright.
And I'm Edye Tarbox. For Veronica Johnson and all of us here at Eyewitness News, have a good day.
Join us again for Eyewitness.
The movie is as good as the book.